UFC 318 is over. Here's my experience.
I see my haters proud of me now. When I'm around, it's all smiles. I took over my whole town.
To kick this thing off, I'll give UFC 318 a solid 7 out of 10. We've seen some really fun, intriguing prospects that I think are going to be stars on this card, with the first potential star being Miss Carl Judas versus Nicole Cagliari. After dominating the entire fight, she was able to find a finish in the last round and in front of her home state, and that is something that you cannot take away. I think Carl Judas is on her way to be a very, very popular female fighter. What do you guys think? Let me know. That fight, we had the Hulk, Bruno Ferreira, taking on UFC newcomer Jackson McVeigh. And Bruno Ferreira looked like he was fighting a giant in the octagon. And the way he was able to snatch that armbar was absolutely crazy. I don't think I've seen one get caught like that. He literally climbed him like he was a tree and just got his arm and was able to extend it out. Beautiful armbar in the first round. You can't ask for too much more than that. Bruno Ferreira ran through Jackson McVeigh, but I do think we see Jackson McVeigh again. 6'4", he looked like a massive beast in the octagon, and I can't wait to see if he's coming back. Following that fight, we had another finish with Mr. Ryan Spann taking on Lucas Brexy in a fight where I think the loser is probably going to end up getting cut. And this one so happened to be Lucas Brexy, where Ryan Spann was able to lock in a guillotine in the very first round. In his second fight in the UFC heavyweight division, who do you guys want to see Ryan Spann fight next? I don't think he's ready for somebody in the top 15 right now. But then again, there's not that many UFC heavyweights. So hopefully we'll be able to see Ryan Spann back very soon. Next fight, we had another finish. We had Mr. Jimmy Crute taking on Marcin Prachnio. That man, Jimmy Crute, was able to implement a grappling-heavy game plan, and it worked out in his favor as he was able to get a first-round armbar after taking him down, dragging him down. But that finish was absolutely insane. Full extension. I had to look away from the screen because I thought he was going to snap that man's arm. But that man, Jimmy Crute, is back in the win column. Who do you guys want to see him fight next? Next UFC guys, I think, is Islam Dulatov, and he was on this card versus Adam Fukin, and he was able to get a first round finish, TKO finish, just rapid punches after punches after punches until Adam Fukin just said, I can't take it no more. And that man, Islam Dulatov, is successful in his UFC debut with a first round TKO victory. A lot of young guys on UFC 318. Atiba Gutierrez might be the most special one. That man was patient and he threw punches with absolute power and attention to knock Robert Valentin out with every single one. But he was calm and poised and ready to take that shot whenever it came, and he was able to do it in the very first round. Atiba Gutierrez, whoever he gets next. Atiba Gutierrez, I don't know who he gets next, but I do think he's ready for the top 15. Maybe not in the top 10, but somebody on that outer cell of the top 15 should have their next fight be against Atiba Gutierrez. What do you think? Let me know. After that fight, we had the Valentinov versus Prado fight. You didn't really miss much. I mean, it wasn't the most exciting fight. Valentinov was able to win the fight by split decision. I know I'm butchering his name, so I'm going to go to the next fight. And the next fight is Mr. Brendan Allen versus Marvin Vettori. And Brendan Allen, I'm not going to lie, his striking looked pretty decent in this fight. I don't know if his striking was good or Marvin Vettori just couldn't move his head out the way because he can't get knocked out. But this fight was fight of the night. It wouldn't have been my fight of the night. I would have gave it to Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier. That's just my opinion. But this fight, it was okay. It was a fun fight for the whole 3 rounds. And that man, Brendan Allen, is able to get a win over Marvin Vettori, a former top 5 middleweight in the UFC and a former title challenger in the UFC, which is crazy. But what do you guys think about this? Do y'all think Brendan Allen is going to make another run at the title? Let me know. In the prelim main event of the night, we had Mr. Vinicius Oliveira taking on Kyler Phillips. This man, Vinicius Oliveira, is on a whole different level. It looks like he's tired, but he's never tired. That's just the way he moves, and he's able to keep that pace throughout the entire fight, at least right now when he's in these 3-round fights. And we might see him in a 5-round main event here soon, because this man is just stacking wins after wins after wins, and Vinicius Oliveira is going to be a dark horse to be the best 135 pounders in the next couple of years. But as long as Merab's active, I'm gonna be honest, I don't see anybody taking the belt off of him. Opening up the main card, we have Mr. Michael Johnson taking on the Golden Boy Daniel Zellhuber. Michael Johnson, I've always said it, he's a coin flip fighter. He's either gonna look like one of the best in the world or one of the worst in the world. And when in the UFC 318, he looked like one of the best. That man was able to do whatever he wanted to Daniel Zellhuber. He looked like he was able to get inside, which it wasn't really hard for Daniel Zellhuber to let him inside because Daniel Zellhuber likes to press forward too. But this fight, Michael Johnson showed that he's still worthy of being on the UFC roster even after all, 30-something fights in the UFC, which is insane. But Michael Johnson's still doing it, still being young guys, and I can't wait to see what he does next. Following that fight, we have Patricio Pitbull taking on Dan Ige First round, nothing burger. Second round, Denike started loading up a little bit, and my guy Pitbull was able to counter some. And then third round, it was a kind of wash. Not the most exciting fight, but I do think Pitbull won that fight. It depends on how you score round one, and round one, nothing really happened, so I can't really get mad at you for that. Denike, in my opinion, ran 1-3. Pitbull won 2. However you score one is who won the fight. But what do you guys think about this fight? Mr. Pitbull is now ranked in the UFC. I think he's ranked number 11 right now. I'll put it up right here. But yeah, Pitbull has his first UFC win under his belt. Who do you guys want to see him come back and fight? And probably the biggest upset of the night, we had Mr. Daniel Rodriguez taking on Kevin Holland. A lot of people expected Kevin Holland to come in here and run through D-Rod. A D-Rod who's coming off of his first finish win over Santiago Ponzinibbio in a very long time. So that man's confidence is high, and he was able to show it, being the first man to knock down Kevin Holland multiple times in a fight. And he was able to just pretty much keep the pressure on the entire time, and it was a really good fight. I mean, Kevin Holland even knocked him down sometimes, so it wasn't just a complete round shot. It wasn't a complete blowout from D-Rod, but that man D-Rod did put on a show, and he looks like he's earning that UFC contract that he signed after his last fight. In the co-main event of the night, this might be a hot take, but we had Mr. Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov, and I think this is the best Paulo Costa has looked ever in his UFC career. That man was throwing bombs to the body and the head in rapid succession, and they was connecting multiple times. I mean, he was hitting him to the body and lifting Kopylov off his feet. Kopylov, for his part, just looked like he didn't know what to do. He can't really get past the power of Paulo Costa. And Roman Kopylov, who he fights next, I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure he will come back very, very well, because I think he's one of the better 185-pounders on the planet right now. I know saying that after a loss is kind of crazy, but his striking is very, very hard to get past. And Paulo Costa was able to get past it with pure power and aggression. And if we can get this Paulo Costa back and hit him active, I feel like it's going to be a very good year for Paulo Costa. What did you guys think about this performance? Who do y'all think won it? Let me know. In the main event of the night, we have Max Holloway versus the man this card was built around, Dustin Poirier. A trilogy fight. Dustin Poirier was up 2-0 going into the night, and that man Dustin Poirier was not able to make the clean sweep, as Max Holloway was able to get the unanimous decision win. And Max Holloway was just looked like he's a fresher, faster fighter. He was willing to take more risk, and even Dustin Poirier said he wasn't in there and taking risks that he's used to, so he might have made the right choice. And I agree with him. I mean, he's not getting the belt anytime soon, and he's just had one of the biggest send-offs the UFC, I think, has ever given anybody. And yourself a pay-per-view event in your hometown for your last fight doesn't get really much better than that. Didn't get knocked out, so he's not going to have that lingering over his career, or whenever you think about how his career ended. He stood there in the middle and didn't win. So it is what it is. But Dustin Poirier, hell of a career, great fighter, and I can't wait to see what he does next. I'm pretty sure he's going to be involved with the UFC in some way, in a color commentary role or something like that. But what did you guys think about UFC 318? What was your favorite moment of the night? What was your biggest surprise of the night? Let me know down in the comments below. Like always, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Bigger people, peace.